This is yet another exclusive news break. Pakistan has in fact now come to Iran's defense. Sources have informed us that Pakistan intends on supplying Iran with Shaheen-3 medium-range ballistic missiles if the conflict with Israel escalates. The range of these missiles, we are told, is about 2,750 kilometers and could increase Iran's strike capabilities against regional targets, including Israel. There's a strong evidence suggesting military collaboration between Pakistan and Iran. In fact, Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif also declared that Pakistan stands by Iran in every way possible and also vowed to protect Iranian interests at international forums, including the UN. Pakistan has also now demanded an emergency OIC meeting to unify Muslim nations against Israel, urging those with diplomatic ties to Israel to sever them immediately. Akanksha.
Well, so far as Pakistan is concerned, it's highly unlikely that they can do anything to favor Iran right now because they have overwhelming dependence on the United States, especially after Operation Sindoor. And so what is happening right now, these are more of tokenism and symbolic gestures to keep the domestic audience in good humor. So far as United States is concerned, I don't think there is any kind of dilemma. You know, the statements that are being given by the top leadership in United States, I think you can call them statements of plausible deniability. It is impossible for Israel to do this kind of operation without active support of the Americans, especially if you look at the large number of AWACS, the tankers, the rivet joints, which are deep reconnaissance planes, which are flowing right now. As I stated, more than 20 of those similar aircrafts have already taken off from United States, heading for Europe, possibly to be stationed in the nearby region of the conflict. If you see what happened yesterday, most probably from Qatar, a third facility, terminal, high altitude air defense facility has been shifted from Qatar to Israel, or probably in that region. There are a large number of Aegis warships of United States which are intercepting the missiles which are coming towards Israel from Iran. So United States, except for the offensive operations right inside Iran, everything else, including the refueling, they are doing to help Israel, and it is a stated policy. The only thing is that the Americans have a plausible deniability because they know that if they directly get involved right now, then the entire narrative which is being projected by Iran will be that Islamic world is being attacked by United States.
آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلود استادیوم
We now know how the U.S. and Israel tricked Iran into thinking they had until Sunday to negotiate. In fact, here's President Trump all but admitting to this.
I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse.
So you listen to what he says right there, right? He says the following, right? I gave Iran, right? I gave Iran chance after chance. They're all dead now, and it will get worse. As you hear those words, does that sound like somebody who didn't know what Israel was doing? You see, here's the thing. Iran was made to believe that they would not be attacked so long as they continued negotiating. So they agreed, and they said, we're going to meet on Sunday. And it seemed like the whole world was fooled. I was fooled. I thought, okay, we're good till maybe Monday. Unfortunately for them, it was a trick. It was a lie. And not the first, not by a long shot.
United States. Otherwise, let me tell you the reason why the United States doesn't want to get involved right now, and Iran is desperate to bring United States out of the closet and directly into the conflict. because there are subterfuges in this conflict. Even though the Arab states, the Sunni Arab states, do not like Israel either, perhaps for theological reasons, but the Arab states, especially Saudi Arab, United Arab Emirates, they have suffered so much, especially in the hands of Houthis, which are non-state actors, organizations actively supported and sponsored and funded by the Iranian regime. There have been attacks in the Saudi refineries. There have been attacks in UAE airports. So for them to openly say that we are neutral in this, except for the token statements of condemnation, they will not do anything to stop this conflict or speak in favor of Iran. They are not too unhappy with what perhaps Israel is doing right now in terms of defanging the Iranian regime. Of course, they don't want perhaps Israel to win the war, but they don't mind if a certain amount of defanging happens. And that is where Iran is trying to play a ploy. They would try, they have already warned that they would attack some of the American bases in Middle East. The moment that happens, and then there is a statement of Donald Trump that if that happens, there will be full-fledged retaliation. In that case, perhaps the dynamics changes, and many of the Arab states might be compelled to show support more than tokenism because of the same factor for which Pakistan is making this statement, which is the domestic audience. The domestic audience and the governments are two different things. The domestic audience may be entirely against what Israel is doing in the Middle Eastern countries, but the governments in those places know that it is important for the Sunni Arab states to defang a Shiite regime in Iran, which they think has been responsible for many of their sufferings, including the attacks by Hezbollah or the Muslim Brotherhood or Houthis. So there are many complex dynamics, but America is supporting Israel in this conflict, whether they accept it or not. There are clear and present forensic evidence of that.